A warm welcome for Justin Spencer.
Yeah, you can hear me okay? Wonderful. Actually, it's a real pleasure being here because when I was a student in Norway 20 years ago, my first trip to America was to come to ACM SIGGRAPH. So that was like coming to Mecca for me. So now it's almost like coming home. So a lot have happened in the last 20 years. When we worked 20 years ago, looked at what is the future of media and computer graphics and so on, we just saw the beginnings of the big revolution that have been in multimedia and the internet and so on in the last 20 years. And I'm very happy to be here today to present a very exciting company which is representing the next paradigm in online video and video editing. Because we are now moving the video editing process that used to be on the desktop into the cloud. And I'm going to talk now and explain to you today how we have done it and what it can mean for you as a user. It's going to be a big change compared to editing on the desktop. So, just a little bit about WeVideo. It was founded in April 2011, but the origins of the company was actually back in Norway. It started out as an educational platform that are currently being used by 250,000 school children in Europe. So school children could express their creativity through video editing, creating animations, creating audio, soundscapes, and a mind mapping tool. Then we realized, actually the founders came to me 1 year ago and they said, hey Jostein, we have created probably the world's best online video editor, but we're only selling it to kids in Europe. Don't you think it's a bigger market? I had a look at the product and I saw, wow, this is amazing. So I said, yep. They were looking for a new CEO, so I said, I'm the man. But instead of having the headquarters in Norway, I said we need to be in Silicon Valley. So we headquartered them in April 2011. We currently are in Sunnyvale, only a few minutes from here in the Plug and Play Tech Center. And as the company grows, we might be looking for new offices and new stuff. The offering we have is the world's first full-featured video editor in the cloud. You probably have heard about cloud-based video editors before. Many companies have tried and failed, but very few have succeeded. You have a few other companies doing measure tools in the cloud, but you don't have any tools in the cloud that actually can replace the video editor that is currently on the desktop. We think we have achieved that. And we think we have proven that this is a product that works, since we're having 250,000 kids in Europe using it today without a manual and without support. The mission we have is not just to give the people who call themselves video editors a new tool. The mission we have is to actually enable anybody and everybody who are recording video, and it's probably about 1 billion people in the world who are doing that today, who are having video cameras, to enable them to tell their stories through video. We launched the 13th of September at a demo, and we had about 120 articles written about us around the world. Network World, Computer World, they said that we maybe have the best potential to become the next big thing. The Next Web, PC Magazine, and so on, they also had very excited articles and reviews. I thought I'll start with a little video from our launch. And I just apologize we don't have a direct connection of the sound, but the sound will come through this microphone.
WeVideo. Pretty cool. That's the idea.
I think it will really video edit. It's going to be great thing. We love being here at Demo. It's a bunch of companies that we can work with and we can partner with.
This is an exciting place. Some great companies have been launched at Demo. We hope to be the next one in that long list of great companies.
You have an amazing product. I'm so proud of it. You know, we are really going to be able to change the video industry.
Doing it in the cloud makes a lot of sense for actually getting the video that I put in the time to create, then out to people who want to see it.
We are the world's first full-featured video editor in the cloud. They're easy to use, we scale, we run in a web browser, and we make it possible for people to collaborate. Friends, family, colleagues can now create broadcast quality
decision-making process. So this is number 4, so WeVideo. I just wanted to say thank you so much. Yeah, I have truly had an amazing team working with us to make this happen. Now the word go out and start creating videos with WeVideo. Faster, easier than ever before. Congratulations. Yeah, it's all open for service. Millions of users. Please come and start listening.
So that was 2 months ago, and we have had an amazing journey since then. I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about that and what actually also happened before that. As you saw, we won the Demo Gold Award. We were very honored to win that. It's a very prestigious award for any new company when they are launching their products. So, what is the problem we are trying to address? I don't know if you have heard that as many as 350 million people are uploading video today. It's more people watching video on the net than actually are using Facebook. And so after Facebook, uploading video is actually the third most used activity for people on the net. YouTube, they have 3 billion views a day. That is equal to half of the world's population watching a video every day on the internet. And it's 48 hours of video being uploaded every 1 minute. Cisco, they have said that by 2013, they expect 90% of all traffic on the net to be video. But it's a big problem. The majority of people recording video, they don't edit. And why is that? We did some market research this summer, and 54% of the people in the survey, they said they think video editing is too difficult. 16% said that it's too time-consuming. 7% said they don't have software. And about 23% they said that they don't really feel they have a need for it. What is interesting in that research is that the people who said they don't have a need for it, they said they became disillusioned with video editing. So they think that they don't want to do it because it's perceived to be difficult. And this is what we want to change. So I will show you all the way at the end another interesting statistic which is proving that the 23% number might be wrong. So, what if video editing actually very easy? Drag and drop easy, accessible from anywhere, on any device, inexpensive, premium. So you can start for free and pay depending on the requirements you have. Leverage online resources. Share images, video with people around the world. Creative and fun. Fast rendering time. And share your videos and the results with family and friends on social networks. Imagine if you go to a football game, the mother or the father of the child shooting a video of your child at the soccer game. You upload to the game while the game is going on. You have even invited other parents to do the same from their cameras. You edit the clips on a tablet at Starbucks. You collaborate with your child and the other parents and your friends while you're at home. And you share all of the results on Facebook. This is what we are now making available. It's accessible, easy to use, creative, collaborative, well tested, 250,000 children using it, no manual, no support needed. We have been winning a number of awards. Demo was only the last one in a string of awards we have been winning since we came to Silicon Valley. And our goal is to take video editing across the chasm, to make it a mass market activity. Just like recording video and uploading video is a mass market activity today, we want to make the ability to create stories through video and video editing available for anybody. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch over to, because of the network security here, I'm not allowed to use my Apple MacBook on the local HP network, so we'll switch to an HP laptop. Maybe I can get some help. So, but, oh, it is working. I was going to say, any questions while they're connecting? Okay, so what meets you when you are actually going on to the software is that the first thing that meets you is what we call the dashboard. And the dashboard is a view into all of the content, all of the projects that you have stored in the cloud. And not only you, but also projects that have been shared with you by colleagues, friends, family members. And let me just make sure we are logged on here. I think it went to sleep. So you just need to log back in. Is the network connected? Should be. Maybe not. It's a red light here for the network. Is that right, or should it be good? Okay, so while we're just getting the network up and running, if you can have a look at that. Let me just take a couple of questions from the audience. How many here, anybody here working in Adobe or Apple or Avid with video editing products? Oh, that's great, fantastic. Actually, it could be very interesting to hear your perspective on video editing in the cloud. Anybody who wants to say a couple of words about the current thinking that you guys have on about it? CJ Arnesen almost sounds Scandinavian.
I have an impressive idea. It's a bandwidth issue that's the biggest concern. Editing in the cloud means I'm creating more footage than I need to put up for a polished product. So someone who's already editing locally can upload a lot less bandwidth than the cloud stuff. But if I'm trying to edit it in the cloud, all the functions there.
Yeah.
But easy to use.
Yeah, great. So you're working on, can everybody hear CJ? No. Okay, maybe give me the microphone. Do you have a cloud product today, or?
No. Currently we use either Sony Vegas or Apple Final Cut Pro or Adobe.
Okay, which organization are you with?
I'm with a small company in Campbell called Altus Learning Systems.
Okay. Oh,
We do enterprise online video.
yeah, okay, great. Could be interesting also to hear somebody else. Because a couple of other hands up. Maybe over here?
Nothing recent.
Nothing recent, okay. I have one guy who is almost half Norwegian sitting in the background there. He used to be a station manager of a local TV station. And Stephen, why don't we just have 2 words from you about what you have seen so far about WeVideo, because you're one of the people in the audience who know a little bit about us.
Right. I was station manager at CBS in San Francisco, vice president of marketing down at KTLA, ran into Yostein and saw his product and was very impressed. Thinking about news journalists in the field needing to edit the product. Right now, I was talking to a station today, basically use a $5,000, maybe $4,000 HP laptop, and about $800 to $1,000 of software. And when you see your system, be able to edit with any kind of laptop and without any software, to be able to edit in the field and upload all of your content. And they're dealing with 2 to 5, maybe 10 minutes of stuff. They've got to get it back, but then all of the raw material is in the cloud and accessible back at the station. So if they want to change anything, they just edit it, they can do that. So I saw it as a very, very strong potential for that kind of application in the pro world. And the fact that you can do high quality as well. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, high definition editing, even on a Chromebook or a netbook, that would be impossible to do with Adobe Premiere or any products from Apple and Adobe. You're not saying anything bad about those guys, great companies, but we think by moving to the cloud we can give amazing performance onto devices where you couldn't even dream about doing video editing before. Yes?
I was just going to say, could you maybe speak a little bit about the requirements? I mean, what do you require of the machine running your browser, and also what do you require for bandwidth up and down?
Okay, I don't know the processor of a Chromebook, but or a netbook, ATEM-powered netbook, but you can actually do high definition, broadcast quality video editing on both.
What kind of bandwidth between the Chromebook and the
Okay, the bandwidth doesn't need to be high for editing, but it needs to be good bandwidth for doing the uploading. But we're also working on a number of ways to circumvent that. So by using low resolution proxy files.
Can you speak a little bit about the technology that it's written in? Is it JavaScript? Is it Flash? What kind of codecs are things? I mean, if it runs on a Chromebook, it's obviously pretty generic, then it doesn't require a whole lot of plugins or anything like that.
The front end is written in Flash. I know it's a lot of issues around Flash at the moment, but it's the only platform to deliver the kind of performance we're going to show today. We are actually very much in line with Adobe's Flash strategy. So even if they are going to discontinue Flash support inside of the web browser, that's not a problem for us, because on mobile devices, smartphones and netbooks, smartphones and tablets, we are actually running as a local app. All right, so looks like we are ready for a demo. So right now I just log in with my username and password. If you are logged on to Facebook, Google, or Yahoo, you can actually use what we call single sign-on. So you don't even need to remember username and password for our servers. You can just connect it on our platform. I can show you here, for instance. Oops, sorry. Go to account. You'll see that I have connected my account to my Facebook account and my YouTube account. And that enables me, as long as I'm logged into either Google or Facebook, it automatically also goes straight to the editor and inside of here. I'm going to show you later that we already have done a launch with YouTube. So the first thing that meets you is what we call the dashboard. In the dashboard, you have all of your projects. This can be your private projects, projects with your friends, family, and colleagues. And you can create folders to categorize things, or you can just have everything available like that. So here is an example, 9/11 Ural project. This was done a couple of days before we launched. And we had a videographer in New York. His name is Lee Pardon. He was one of the collaborators in this project. He was going around filming the murals that were being painted all over New York for the 9/11 anniversary. And as you can see, here, you can see all of the videos we uploaded. And you can see here the different edits that wasn't actually done by him, but done by an editor sitting here in Silicon Valley 1 hour later. I can also go to another project, WeVideo at X Games. We sent some of our summer interns down to Los Angeles for X Games, and they had a lot of fun there. And again, they just were shooting a lot of video, uploading it into a shared project, and let me just open and you can have a look at one of the edits that they did. So everything you're seeing now is working live towards the cloud. So it's getting the software down, it's getting all of the media clips down, and if you think it's a little bit of a waiting time on the loading, it's actually downloading about 1 hour of video now while we're waiting. Because with that 1 hour of video, I can actually work extremely fast on what we call low resolution proxy files of the 1 hour of video. Actually even much faster than I can do on most desktops inside of a web browser. We had the editors at Fox News. They had a look at this platform, and they said, this is amazing. This is faster than their multi-million-dollar editing systems that they have in the studio. And it's all running in a web browser. So here you can see, if I now hit play, it's about 30-40 clips there. And we have taken only 2-3 seconds from each clip. But each and every clip is half a minute to a minute. So the total playtime is more than an hour here. I now hit play. It downloads all of those files from the cloud. It takes a few seconds. Remember, it's 1 hour of video. So when you asked about what kind of speed you need to work, you can work with doing high-definition video editing even on a 3G connection. Because you're not working on the high-definition files. The high-definition files stay up in the cloud. So the only bottleneck is to actually get the high-definition files up to the cloud. But you remember what I said? 90% of all internet traffic is going to be video by 2013. So it's a huge effort now to make sure that the bandwidth is available there to support real-time translation of high-definition video all over the world. So because of that, that is now the use case and the ability to deliver such a software is now available and possible to do in the cloud. Yeah? Sorry.
Did you tell us what format that was in?
Okay, the proxy files is H.264. Yeah.
H.264, okay, that has a range of bit rates.
Yeah. Okay, so
amazing
what
how
we're seeing
quickly
here
that can
is
down.
at 320, 240. So it might very well be up in the cloud a high definition original file. But what I'm working with locally, since I downloaded 1 hour of video, you saw it took less than a minute. It means that it's a low resolution file it's going down. And let me see what then happens. Let me play. So you can see here that it's only taken 2-3 seconds out of each file. So now I can change the in point and the out point out of this if I want. Let's say I wanted to finish there, I want to start there, and automatically you see now in the timeline it have adjusted. I can scrub, and you see it's immediate. It's very fast to scrub through and lots of video files here. I can shift video files around. I can change the sequence. I can make this video clip longer. I'm going to drag over here. You can even see a video wall. Here is 9 videos, all running next to each other. Let me show you something that you should not try to do on a desktop. I'm going to grab one more video. I'm going to go into the project files. Now it gathers and check what are all the files available in the cloud. And I'm going to grab a video clip that wasn't already here. I drag it now into the timeline. Boom. 1, 2, 3. The video is available. You see here. And what you will see now, I'll place it on top of the 9 other videos. I'm going to change the transparency. And you'll see now it's blending 10 videos without any rendering time. Try to do that on the desktop. Adobe Premiere, iMovie, and we'll tell you, please wait while we render. That was 10 videos blended together. Yeah?
So, are you, do you consider yourself a competitor to some of the Adobe products?
Well, we are an alternative to that. We are in the cloud. The Adobe, Apple, Avid, they are all on the desktop. And they're dependent on the processing power of the local computer, storage and process. We are using the processing power in the cloud for the high definition rendering. Since we are working on low resolution proxy files, it means that we can even have this kind of performance on a smartphone. We were blown away when we actually ran that test. Because first we didn't think this was going to work on the smartphone. But since we are running in Flash, and we could compile a Flash application, and right now we're running on Android tablets and smartphones, the performance is equally good on a smartphone as it is on the desktop. Let me show you a couple of other things. I'm going to grab some lower thirds down, and you see it's now layers on top of the video. I can even put it there, so it layers together with the other 10 videos. I just enter the name. And hit play. So, like I said, this was developed for kids. So you see here, I can even have kids that love these speech bubbles. And since it was done for kids, another thing we did was that we used a canvas metaphor. So you can move objects around and resize them, just like you do on a canvas. You can even change the transparency, also of this product, and you see how everything blends together without any waiting time. You can imagine kids, they are some of the most impatient users, and they love using this tool. It actually happening in Europe now is that they even, kids that used to hate writing essays, they love doing their homework now. Because instead of writing an essay about the subject, they can now create a video. And teachers, they love giving this task to kids because they've never seen kids being so excited about homework assignments before. And they even have started, in some cities, they have started accepting exams delivered now as videos. So the same way as we have impacted education in Europe, we hope to now also enable people around the world to start editing their videos and telling their stories. A music library of more than 400 songs. So if you want to change the song that I have on this track, I just drag and drop another song from the cloud. I hit play, it will download the song from the cloud, and you see it has changed the feel of the whole video. So it's as simple as that. Soon we'll have 4 million songs available there, including Madonna and Rihanna. A lot of people, they love to have these kind of premium songs, but the moment they upload to YouTube, the audio layer is being disabled. Through our platform, you'll have a sharing system where you can purchase these songs and use in your videos, if it's for personal use or for commercial use. We are also, right now, this area here is a little bit empty right now. To school kids, we actually gave them a video library. We even have a broadcaster library. The Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation had given several hundred video clips from their broadcasting archives for the kids to use. Soon, we will be coming available with millions of video clips and images, some that are during the royalty-free use, and some that will be paid for use, from some of the biggest suppliers of images and video in the world. So what we are not only doing, we are not only creating an editing platform, but we are actually also creating a marketplace. So we can become like an eBay for the video industry. Not only for professional players to make available their clips, but even for normal users, artists, creatives, to upload images and videos and sell it through our platform. Let me show you another thing that you shouldn't try to do on a desktop. I'm now going to drag a 3D effect down on the timeline. If you try to do this on a desktop, spin 2 videos around in a 3D space, the desktop will tell you, please wait while we render. Look now. You see? No waiting time. It's as fast as that. Instant. Let me play. It's not the most beautiful film I made, but, but at least you get the idea about the power of the platform. Some people, they might say that this looks a bit complicated. Let me show you how you can make a new video in 20 seconds. I start a new project. You see this is empty. I use what we call the video wizard. I go and select from the video files, the archives that my friend Magnus have shared. I just drag the videos I want to use. I can change the sequence of these. I hit next. I can select which effect I want to use, the length from each clip, hit create, boom. I now created a video in 20 seconds with 4 clips, with transitions and everything. I hit play, it downloads the clips. Then again, if you want to add music to this, maybe you want to change the volume here of the others. You hit play. Then when you finish the project, you save it to the cloud. And let me show you what happens then. Let me call it ACM. I hit OK. What is now happening is that it's actually not transferring any media files between the computer and the cloud. The only thing happening is that it's sending out what we call the EDL, the editing decision list. It goes up to the servers in Amazon Cloud, and the first thing it tells you what resolution you want to export in. Right now, I'm just a plus user, not an ultra user, so I don't have high definition by default. So it says you can export in standard definition, or you can pay extra to export in high definition. So I hit continue. I'm happy with doing standard definition, and I say I want to publish this to YouTube and Facebook. Hey, check out this new video I just main. What is now happening, the moment I hit export, it's gathering all of the high-definition video content from Amazon S3 storage, distributing out to multiple servers in Amazon Cloud, and rendering in record speed, and transferring cloud to cloud from Amazon Cloud to YouTube and publishing straight to Facebook, all in one click. And it goes super fast. One single server is rendering 320 frames a second. That is 12 seconds of video per second. So it means 1 minute of video is rendered in 5 seconds. Try to do that on a desktop. Okay, enough demo. Let me jump back to the presentation. I know some questions here about how did we do it, so I'm going to come to that in a minute. And what's amazing is that 1 year ago, this was only being sold to kids, and the team in Norway, they didn't know, is there a bigger market for it? Do you think it is? So let's talk about it. The market we are not going out, we are not seeing ourselves as direct competitors with existing players like Apple, Adobe, and Avid, because they are only selling to tens of thousands of users. This is the top end of the pyramid, 1 to 3% of the market. We are also not saying that the market we are going after is the market that Apple and Microsoft and a few other players, Cyberlink and Pinnacle, are addressing, because again, this is such a small portion of the total market. 20% of the internet population are uploading video, or about 1 billion people in the world are recording video. That's the market we are going after. And we need to do it with a new paradigm of software, because the old paradigm hasn't worked. So what are the paradigms we are utilizing? We are utilizing 4 of the most important megatrends on the net today. One is that we are utilizing Amazon Cloud for cloud computing, storage, and processing power. We are not only available on Mac and PC in a web browser, but we are also available on smartphones and tablets and Chromebooks. We are partnering with the largest video sharing websites in the world, YouTube first, Vimeo soon, and we are integrating very tightly with social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook. So we're bringing together 4 of the most important trends on the net today. And what is the result of that? We launched 2 months ago at demo. As you see, we started growing quite well. And then we launched with YouTube 1 month ago. And look at that graph. That's called a hockey stick. That was actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday after launch. In 3 days, as you can see, we dramatically were increasing. We are now on target to reach probably 1 million users of our software within 1 year from launch.
What's the x-axis, 43, 44, 45?
Okay, I'm going to explain that in a second. So when I spoke about when we launched with YouTube, that was here, and then the hockey stick there. Okay, so what we are showing here is what are the number of projects created per day. So as you can see, in the last 3 weeks, we have been increasing from 2,600 to 3,900 projects created every day. And what you can also see is that the majority of videos that are being created are relatively short, 2-3 minutes. But even the length of the videos are increasing over time. Let me see if I can also show you. Oh, no, maybe I didn't link that video from YouTube, so let's skip that. Or actually, do you want to see the video about how it works inside of YouTube?
Sure.
Okay. YouTube. Okay.
We've been having a lot of fun shooting this crazy action movie. Now we're going to sit down and cut it together using WeVideo's plugin for YouTube. All you need to start is a YouTube account. Go to youtube.com/create and pick the WeVideo editor. Everything happens inside the browser, so you can do it on any computer. From here you can upload all your footage, and WeVideo handles all the compression, storage, rendering, everything. The app has all the stuff you'd expect to find in an editing program. You've got your timeline, your preview window, media library. You just grab your footage, and drop it onto the timeline where you can trim it down and shift it around. WeVideo has a ton of built-in effects that you can apply to your clips, like color correction, dozens of transitions. You just drag and drop, and they play back instantly with no rendering. The Video Wizard feature lets you take a bunch of still images or video clips and applies the transitions automatically to create a slideshow. There's also a title editor that lets you add text anywhere. There's a whole library of built-in sound effects and music to pull from to spice up your project. You can even record your own voice with your computer's built-in mic to do narration, like I'm doing right now. Once you're finished, just hit publish, and the video goes live on your YouTube account. Everything is already uploaded, so it's pretty much instantaneous. Now, WeVideo also has a standalone cloud-based editor, even more features, that lets you collaborate with your friends and family. They can upload footage for you to edit into your videos, or you can even share your entire project with them so they can open it up and see exactly what you're working on. So sign up for a free account at WeVideo.com and check out what it's like to edit in the cloud.
So, let me see, where are we? All right. Then, let's talk a little bit technology. I understood that was an important subject. So it's cloud-based. It's using what we call software as service. So it means that you don't need to purchase any software, you don't need to install any software, you don't need to maintain any software. You get it all as a subscription, starting from free. It's browser-based. We are using what we call proprietary parallelization technology. Apologize, my Norwegian is a bit rustic on this. So that means that we have developed a technology that lets you have a massive parallelization of the rendering between multiple servers in the cloud. And this is why we are so fast. I think we ran a test. I heard our tech team, they said that they managed to render 1,000 times faster than real time. I think that kind of rendering speed previously were only available to the big Hollywood studios when they were creating their graphics movies. I don't know if anybody in the audience, I know some of you are from SIGGRAPH, if you have heard about any rendering speeds faster than 1,000 times faster than real time. I thought that was pretty impressive. And since we are working on low-resolution proxy files, it's real-time, multi-layer playback. You remember I showed you how we were blending 10 videos together without any waiting time? That is some of the achievements. And it runs across all device platforms. That is pretty unique, because the editing and rendering engine that we have developed that runs in a web browser, it's the same engine, editing and rendering engine, the same code, running on smartphones, tablets, netbooks, PC, Mac, and in Amazon Cloud. So that means that if we are making a change, a new effect in the editing and rendering engine, we compile it across all platforms immediately. We don't need to optimize to any specific hardware, any GPUs, and so on. So that means we can have a much higher degree of innovation than almost anybody else in the video industry. So you'll see that we are going to be running very fast when it comes in terms of rolling out new features and so on. So what does it mean for the end user? It means reduced cost. What's interesting was Steven talked about local TV station is spending maybe $4,000 or $5,000 on high-end laptops with very expensive software on them. In the future, they can go and buy $200, $300, $400 computers and maybe have a better performance. It's very high performance, even from low-power computers. It's now possible to do anytime, anywhere editing. So it means for a journalist out in the field, he can actually start doing the editing there. He doesn't have to wait till he's back in the studio or on a powerful desktop to do the editing anymore. It's the same for the sports enthusiast who have been doing some stunts in the half pipe, in the snowboard park. He just go to the internet cafe and he can do the editing straight there from the web browser. It eliminates the need for the expensive computers. I don't know if you have seen video professionals. Some of them they have several different computers, because they know that the moment they start rendering on one computer, that just needs to be left alone for hours, maybe overnight, maybe a day, to finish rendering. So then they start rendering on one computer, they go to the next computer to continue working. Forget that. You just hit export, and you'll have a nice little progress bar up at the top showing while Amazon Cloud is doing all the rendering for you. You don't need to worry about keeping the software up to date, because it's all being done for you. And since it's in the cloud, it's enabling what we call social and collaboration over video. And this is something new. And we are testing it out a little bit, because this didn't exist before. But just like Google Docs, they have shown how powerful it is to be able to collaborate multiple people on the same spreadsheet and in the same document. We think it's also a use case for being able to work with video across locations. We have seen big interest for that. Schools, school projects, students collaborating, working together in video production, news production, and so on. They all love that idea. And what we think is that we ultimately will change the way people are interacting with and sharing the videos. So, a little bit more about the technical architecture. We are using FFmpeg for all video input and output. So that means all formats supported by FFmpeg are also supported by us. A lot of the time, if you're sitting on a Mac or a PC today and you're trying to maybe edit a video on a bit obscure format, very often the current desktop editors, they don't take all formats. We take more formats than most desktop editors do. Like I mentioned, we're using Amazon S3 for storage and the Elastic Cloud for processing power. We are started compiling the first apps on the Android platform, and we're also planning to come onto iOS. And we are supporting more or less every browser, or at least every browser that can run the latest Flash. We have been filing a number of patents. One of the patents, for instance, is covering the ability to be able to start on a project even if you haven't uploaded all of the high-definition content up to the cloud. This is how our architecture looks like. Is that we are having a private cloud running in Norway with our application servers. And this is the central brain in the system. And it's managing all of the user accounts, managing where to put the job. We originally actually had a rendering farm in Germany, and we stored all the content in Norway. But now we moved it over to Amazon. But even if Amazon goes down, it means that we can actually move the rendering and storage over to server farms in Germany and in Norway. Automatic failover. As you know, I think Amazon went down in the summer for a few days. Yes?
So you said you were using FFmpeg. Are you using the open source, publicly available version of FFmpeg, or are you tweaking it?
Good question. I'm the CEO. The CTO would be able to answer that. Okay. So, that's a good question. Yeah. I know that we are really on the cutting edge of using FFmpeg. I know that FFmpeg community are very proud in the way we are pushing the envelope with it. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we are. I think we are contributing continuously into that community.
Great.
Yeah. As you can see, we are then utilizing the Amazon Cloud for uploading, transcoding, rendering, and exporting. But we have the ability to move both the storage and transcoding and rendering to different servers, depending on where is the lowest cost for this. But right now, after Amazon reduced the cost of the services in the summer, they cut it to half. That's when we decided to move from our rendering farm in Germany into Amazon Cloud. And what next? We are working on, this is the ultimate goal of what we're working on, where you can see you have one service in the cloud that ties together all of your digital devices. From capturing from your camera, uploading to the cloud, uploading also media content from your smartphone, from your tablet, and from your PC, doing the editing on the smartphone, tablet, and your PC, and consuming it on smartphone, tablet, PCs, and your smart TV. That's what we hope to deliver, a full integrated experience, A to Z, in next year. Yeah, question?
So I imagine in terms of, you're probably going to talk about the pricing and stuff, but I'm curious on storage. Obviously, if you're storing all of my video on Amazon's cloud, then you have to pay for that, and I probably have to pay for that. Do you have hooks to hook into things like, say, Dropbox or Box.net or other storage containers that I might have that give me gigabytes of storage on my own?
We are working on an API that will enable hooking into other storages. We know Dropbox, for instance, they have a lot of media companies using Dropbox for sharing media files. So I think it would be an ideal scenario for us to plug into these kind of storages. The only problem is that it kind of kills our business model a little bit, because our business model today is based on how much storage we need to buy on our service. So we might need to redefine our business model to support that. But technically, it's no reason why we couldn't do that. Business-wise, we just need to figure out.
You're also reselling
the best
Amazon
balance.
computing as well as storage, so the compute power is still there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's one of the things we're working on right now. It's coming. I don't have an exact date, but it's surely on our roadmap. As you saw before, I said that it's very few people who are editing video. In our market research, we asked 1,000 people, if you had a product that was fast, easy, inexpensive, how many of you would edit videos? And we were surprised to hear that out of the 20-something% who are editing video today, that would increase to 88% of people who are recording video would be interested in editing video if they had a platform like ours. So we hope that we are going to change the way video is being created, and we hope to take video editing across the classroom. So let me just end with a little commercial that we had our video team doing. Our video team, by the way, they are the young guys that you saw on the YouTube video. They're 1 year out of college and film school. We think they're doing a great job. And let's have a look at one of the commercials that they did.
We all love to explore new places. Some of us even make a career out of it.
We all love to capture moments, even if I have to clean it all up.
We all love to work together, even when my partner is on the other side of the world.
We
all love sharing our experiences, even if it's a really bad idea. And now we can do it all with WeVideo. It's cloud-based video editing. We can upload footage here and have our editor working on it back at the studio.
Because I can access it through my browser, I can edit anytime, anywhere, on my computer, or even on my iPad.
It doesn't matter that half my team's in Hong Kong. We were still able to collaborate and get the video presentation done in time for the big meeting. Good morning, folks. And with built-in publishing options like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, I can share my videos with other staff, so I can spend more time doing what I love. We explore.
We remember.
We share. We experience. Even if it's a really bad idea. WeVideo.
So, thank you. Yes?
Collaborative editing. Didn't really talk about it. What do you mean by collaborative editing?
Okay.
People have the same screen?
Okay. We don't support collaborative editing as in terms of real-time editing currently. We are looking at in a future version. The editing you're doing today is similar to the early version of Google Docs, where you couldn't necessarily sit and work on the same document at the same time, because we felt it would become a little bit messy. Let's say you're sitting on an edit and people are moving things around and music and putting voiceover and so on. So we decided probably the best thing is to do what we call asynchronous collaborative editing, as in, you share everything in the cloud. You are storing your edit, and the other collaborators in the same project, they can open your edit, continue working on that, and save it down as their own version. So it's non-destructive editing, so they don't They don't override your own project, but they create their own derivation of that.
Can they watch your previews? So that, for instance, you're talking to them on the telephone and they say, why don't you change the color on that or something?
That's possible. So you can use some of the collaboration tools. And we are looking at introducing some collaboration tools in 2012. So you can actually sit and collaborate in real time, but it's one person at a time working on the project.
Yost, I was in a little bit of a demo today, and one of the technical directors at the television station came up with this himself. He says, you know, I can see this application for myself. I don't care about privately, I mean publicly, professionally, but I just came from a wedding, and I shot video and photos, my sister shot video and photos, Ann shot video and photos. We all are going to upload it. Instead of changing, trying to transfer files, we're all going to put it together, and then we can all make our own videos of that wedding. I thought the wedding industry is just a huge market.
Absolutely.
What that type of collaborative editing method is a good example of it.
Yeah, we think so too, and you'll soon be seeing what we call a wedding video package from WeVideo, where it might become popular to give the bride and the groom a WeVideo package for the wedding. Voluntary with editing or without editing, either the bride and groom can do the editing themselves, but the point is that after the wedding, and let me show you something, anybody who click on the link, and you see the QR code here, this can be used even for events. So you could, for instance, at this event, you could give out this card. Anybody scanning that QR code, they could then become collaborators from this event. So you can do this for SIGGRAPH, for instance. I don't know how many people are going to SIGGRAPH, the big conference. Is it still going on? Yeah? So let's say it's 5,000, 10,000 people there. Each and every one of those 5,000 to 10,000 people can actually become contributors and collaborators into a shared project in the cloud.
Hello. I was wondering if you supported the Ken Burns effect. You know about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if you noticed when I was using the Video Wizard, I had a Ken Burns tag there that I could use. It's especially good for photos.
So if you film the QR code, you upload your video, and it sees the QR code and automatically knows what the video belongs to?
Yep. So we are thinking about doing that. We are talking to one of the world's largest publishers. We might be doing something like that for CES, where you might be handed out a card like this on CES. Anybody who scanned that code with the Android phone or the iOS phone, they can then become collaborators up in a shared area at CES to report from the floor of the CES. So suddenly this publisher can have 5,000, 10,000 contributors to their reporting.
Yeah, put it in the video, pick it out of the video.
And you have a scanner in your videos that sees the code and automatically, then you don't have to sign in anywhere.
That's also possible. Great ideas. Yeah?
So most of the video editing projects that I've had to do were like 8 hours of footage or 24 hours of footage. Do you scale well to projects of that size?
Okay, we haven't targeted the full-length video market yet. We are looking at, because right now, to get the performance we are showing you, we are limiting each file to 0.5 gigabyte. We are looking at removing that limit, and we are looking at making some tweaks to our platform to make it more suitable for longer projects. But I would say right now, in the current form, the platform is best for short-form projects. 3, 5, 15-minute projects rather than 1 hour or 2 hour projects. You can still have 1 hour of footage, like I showed you from X Games. You probably had 1 hour of footage there, but you take only a few seconds from each video clip. That's fine. But we haven't seen it being used for 1 or 2 hour videos yet.
Okay, one more if I could.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're using the Flash platform in the browser for performance. Have you done an analysis of what's missing in the HTML platform as it stands in order to be able to do the stuff that you want?
Our CTO have been looking at it. We have high expectations about HTML5, but we think HTML5 is still quite far away from giving us the performance we just showed you now to equal Flashing performance for our usage. We think HTML5 is fantastic for many of the users, but not for our usage yet. We hope it will get there, and the moment it gets there, then we will also be probably porting to HTML5. Yeah?
My question is, for the past 10 years, the past decade, the US VCs already investigated companies similar to yours for 100 companies for past 10 years. And some large companies like Adobe, Google, Emerald. I just wonder what's new for your demo here and what you want to do. What's your different from theirs? I couldn't say any different because all the functions I can go home and use my PC to do all the functions that you show us. I just wonder what's your advantage?
Oh, it's many advantages compared to the desktop. It's fast, it's easy, it's collaborative, it's inexpensive, anytime, anywhere, any device. So it's a number of advantages compared to the desktop. But yes, you can go and edit a video back home on your desktop, absolutely, and you can also do it on your iPhone or your Android device. But when you start it on one device, you have to finish it there. It's not so easy to go from one device to another. Yeah?
You said that your app is on Flash, and on the ad you have some people with iPads.
Yeah, I know. It was our marketing team working very hard to hit the deadline. And they heard we were on tablet, and the tablet they thought it was the iPad. They didn't know it was Android. So we have to work hard to deliver the iPad also soon.
But would that be just be written next to it? Will it be native app or will it stay?
Yeah, we will be using the Air compiler to compile native. We're just waiting, I think, for the next version of the Air compiler to then go on to iPad and iOS.
Yes, do you support the S3D, stereoscopic video? Stereoscopic video 3D?
Oh, we are looking into it. We are interested in it, but we don't have it yet.
Okay, and the other question is, you talked about weddings. Now, for weddings, it's customary to have a multi-cameras, like a multi-cam setup with synchronized audio. Do you support that in your solution?
Not yet, we are talking about it. Yeah.
You know, it strikes me that this might be useful for musicians to collaborate long distance, where one musician would lay down a drum track, let's say, and then somebody, instead of kind of transporting the file and waiting for a long time, somebody could just get on somewhere else, put in a bass track and go back and forth.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I thought about adding more audio trains.
Yeah, so you can have an unlimited number of video tracks and audio tracks in our platform. And you probably know it's another cloud service called SoundCloud. We were actually thinking about picking the name Video Cloud for our platform. Because yes, it can be used for that kind of collaboration. And other type of users for musicians can be, for instance, they go out to the fans and they say, hey, help us to create our music video. And suddenly they can have 10,000 of the fans collaborating by clicking on one link on the website. 10,000 fans can all become collaborators in creating a new music video for their favorite band.
A quick question. What a number of people who aren't savvy with this at all are going to log on, look at an interface, and like, now what do I do? So you have video tutorial, you have something that walks you through?
Yep. Yeah, our video tutorial lasts about 1 minute and 30 seconds. No, that's a little bit of a joke. We have a number of very short tutorials. But yes, we have it, and we are going to do a number of things. Point one, we are going to make it even easier to use. Because this was designed for children, and children, they could manage to get it to work. But we realized that by designing for adults, we need to make it even easier. So. And we will come out with a number of tutorials, and even how to create a great wedding video. So it will not only be tutorials about how to use the tool, but actually also how to create great videos.
Now, when some various people, let's suppose you have 3 people that contribute to this this story, but they have different cameras.
Yep.
You know, one's at 720p, another's 1080p, and maybe one's not high definition at all. How do you handle that?
So when you are exporting, you set the export format, and we render out in that export format. So we transcode from whatever format was uploaded into that common export format. The problem is if you upload it, let's say you want to do a 1080p export, and the source material is in 720. it will upscale it, but it won't become true 1080p. But we are doing the transcoding between all the different formats and handling that.
Another neat thing about the wedding video thing, if you've got all these people uploading, you could also have some sort of challenge or something where you challenge multiple people to do their own, kind of like remixing audio. You could have everybody make their own video and submit them.
Absolutely, and we also heard that people said that each person can make their own version of the wedding video and to delete their excess and to insert their current ones and so on. So that's the power of this platform, is that when you are collaborators, you can make your own version of that wedding. It's not only one version of the video. Everybody can collaborate and work on top of what the effort the other people have been doing.
When I currently upload from an HD camcorder video, say 5 minutes of video, it takes about a half an hour over the cable modem. So I'm very interested in how I'm going to do this at a soccer field or a campsite.
Yeah. 4G is very fast. That is why mobile operators are loving us. That's why we have several of the largest mobile operators in the world now looking to partner with us. We already have signed up one that we have announced. They have more than 100 million subscribers. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, I'm meeting another one. And we have many, many others that want to partner with us, because we give it's very difficult to sell 4G if it's just for Facebook and web browsing and so on. But more use of video is the killer app for higher bandwidth. So broadband providers, fiber providers, 4G providers, they love us for that reason. And will increase their ART.
I think they're also afraid of you.
Yeah, and they also hate us. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship, because we take up a lot of their capacity. But so far, since the 4G subscriptions, they have to buy that capacity. So far it's good. So far it's more love.
I also did I pick up on it that you don't need video at all. Like you can also use photos and your own kind of animations.
Absolutely.
And you can make your own presentation with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can put a voiceover and upload your own music and so on. Just be careful where you upload it later, because YouTube, they might kill you or something.
One more question. There's a level where you start paying for this. So
that's right.
What level and how much?
Yeah, it was a question about pricing. I didn't show it in the first version, but if you go, we give away 1 gigabyte of storage and 360p resolution with a watermark for free. But you get the full software, all the features. The only thing that we restrict in the free version is storage and resolution. So as you want more storage and more resolution, you can start paying for it. And right now you can start at $4.99 a month for 10 gigabyte of storage and 480p resolution, which is similar to a TV resolution. Or I think it was even DVD, isn't it? Then you can go up to WeVideo Ultra for $29.99, where you get HD, and you get the 1080p HD as an option on the 2 top packages. We also have a commercial version at $59.99, where we are seeing businesses are interested to start using our platform for product videos, customer testimonials, and so on. Maybe even TV stations will buy these packages for their journalists and so on. Any other questions?
So can you download your finished product so you can burn your own DVD?
Yes, you can. Yeah. Not in the free version. That is actually one of the few features we have limited in the free version.
I belong to the Cupertino Viewfinders Video Club. We'd like to have you come and talk to us sometime.
Wonderful. I'd love to do that. Absolutely.
How big is your company? How many developers do you have?
We have a sister company in Norway that have developed educational software. They have about 30 people on staff, plus we have about 20 developers in Romania. These are not all full-time with WeVideo, but we put the resources on an as-need basis to our company. So we are a part of a bigger group in a way, but we are also separately funded with private investors, including also here from Silicon Valley. And we're just now doing a funding round and hope to go into Series A soon. But we haven't done our Series A yet, despite raising $2.7 million so far. But anybody who wants to write a check from me, for me afterwards. Yeah?
And one more question. You said you support all different browsers. Are those for different languages and different Intels browsers?
Yeah. So, yeah, the language is not a problem. Right now we are only in English, but we are looking at implementing multiple languages very soon. We are talking, for instance, to one very large Spanish-speaking website with 1 million users about rolling our platform out to them. So I think you'll be seeing some languages coming out very soon. Yeah?
Hello. Could you tell me why you're careful to explain no watermark 4 times or 3 times? So what do you have to do to get a watermark?
Free. Yeah, we put a little WeVideo logo on the free version, and we hope to motivate people to go for some of the paid versions if they want to have a watermark framework.